I'm Richard Clarke. I record these talks every day as a way to deepen my inquiry. Listen each day and deepen your own practice. Welcome. I'm reviewing and commenting on the book Talks with Ramana Maharshi. Today is from Talk 540. Once A asked, there is more pleasure in dhyana than in sensual enjoyments. Yet the mind runs after the latter and does not seek the former. Why is it so? Maharshi, pleasure or pain are aspects of the mind only. Our essential nature is happiness. But we have forgotten the self and imagined that the body or the mind is the self. It is that wrong identity that gives rise to misery. What is to be done? This vasana is very ancient and has continued for innumerable past births. Hence, it has grown strong. That must go before the essential nature that is happiness asserts itself. The questioner points out a struggle many face. Despite the deep satisfaction found in meditation, dhyana, the mind often still gravitates towards fleeting sensual pleasures. This tug of war can feel puzzling and frustrating. The questioner asks why this happens. Sri Ramana Maharshi's response cuts to the heart of the issue. He begins by reminding us that pleasure and pain are creations of the mind. They are not inherent realities, but arise because of how the mind perceives and interprets experiences. At its core, our true nature, our self, is unchanging happiness. This happiness is not dependent on external circumstances or mental states. The problem, the Maharshi explains, lies in a case of mistaken identity. We've forgotten the self, the source of true and lasting happiness. Instead, we identify with the body and mind, believing them to be who we are. This fundamental error leads us to seek happiness in external things, which are impermanent and incapable of giving us the fulfillment we desire. It is this false identification that becomes the root of our suffering. When the questioner asks what is to be done, Ramana acknowledges that the pattern is deeply ingrained. This habit of identifying with the mind and body and seeking fulfillment in external pleasures is not new. It has been reinforced again and again, creating what he calls vasanas, deep-rooted tendencies that compel us to act in certain ways. Because these vasanas are deep-seated and powerful, they feel difficult to overcome. However, the Maharshi offers hope. The path forward involves weakening and ultimately dissolving these vasanas so the natural happiness of the self can shine forth unobstructed. While this process requires patience and dedication, Maharshi implies that it is both necessary and possible. The key lies in self-inquiry, turning the mind inward and questioning its assumptions, especially the belief that we are the body or the mind. My teacher focused his practice on the elimination of vasanas. He says that a vasana has two elements. The first is misidentification, mistaking your identity as something you are not, like thinking you are a body, not the self. The second part is a mistake in thinking that something external of the world can bring lasting happiness. So you think you are a body and eating chocolate will make you happy. You have a vasana for chocolate. As long as you feel you need it to be happy, your spiritual depth is limited. By persistently redirecting attention to your true identity, to the self, and questioning the allure of external pleasures, the grip of the vasanas loosens. Over time, the peace and joy of the self become more apparent, naturally drawing the mind away from fleeting pleasures. In this dialogue, Ramana Maharshi emphasizes that freedom from suffering does not come through acquiring something new, but through letting go of false identifications and rediscovering the happiness that is already within. So know yourself and be always free and at peace. In 40 Verses on Reality, Ramana Maharshi explains the nature of the self, the ultimate reality, and self-inquiry. My new book, with my comments and inquiry questions, opens these teachings up and brings them into your practice and experience. Available now from Amazon. Link in the video description. These videos bring Ramana's teachings into your direct experience. Click subscribe to see more. Click thumbs up to like, and send questions and start a dialogue with a comment